Hello, please, do you hear me? Okay, so it is 5:30, so I will have to start. Hello everyone, and welcome to this live hosting for the we call it Ask Me Anything. So I just wanted to make this live because a lot of students they try to ask me questions, and sometimes I cannot answer them because sometimes their questions are very complicated for big projects. So, and you know that I can answer questions to the lectures that you are following from my courses, but not really big projects because it's not something very easy to be solved, and also it takes a lot of time. And you know, most of my time I have to put them in building courses. So, to be able to make a good interaction between me and you as my students, and you can see that I have been more and more now coming online and making live webinars just to have a better interaction together, so I can share for you more things, and also I will learn from you also more things, and also our relationship becomes much better. So that's why I'm trying to be more involved into online, because that's something I'm not used to it, actually, to be honest with you. I was not or I was never going online live and speaking like this. So I used to teach in classes, that's correct, but to be live on YouTube, that's something I was not doing it before. But for now, I see it as nice thing to do, so why not? And yeah, it's also a pleasure to see you and to speak to you, and then to get your questions, and I can answer to your questions. All right. So to start very fast, so what I want first to do is just to remind you that I do have courses already live since I think in the last 2 weeks I have two courses. So just to remind you about them before we start our session for the questions and answers. So these courses are on my network training website, but also on Udemy, in case also you take my courses on Udemy. So let's start on Udemy. On Udemy, I have the latest course is this one, MikroTik, which is the IP version 6 engineer with lab. So this course is something like 2 weeks or so. If you are interested, you can go to Udemy and you can get this course. It's really nice. It's all about IP version 6 and how to apply IP version 6 on MikroTik. So it's a really nice course to follow. And I already have spoken about it, so I made a webinar about it, so I assume that you know about it. So that's what is on Udemy. The same course also is on my network training website. So this is the course over here. So it's the same content which is on Udemy. It's also on my website. So it's up to you where to buy them. So for me, it's fine on both platforms. And on mynetworktraining.com, I do have another course which was 2 days only online. It's not yet on Udemy. It is going to be on Udemy, I think, tonight or tomorrow morning. I'm waiting for the approval. This course is MikroTik DNS over HTTPS against DNS spoofing attacks. So this is a very interesting course because it doesn't speak only about the MikroTik, but also I'm going to show you how you can run a Kali Linux to do the attack from it. So I'm going to start from scratch as always, show you all steps, and we're gonna have a lot of fun with the Kali Linux, and then we are going to do really hacking. We have to hack the computer, our computer, and then I'm gonna to show you how you can use the DOH, which is a new feature, which is this one. DNS over HTTPS is a new feature on MikroTik since version 6.47. I'm going to show you how you can use it to protect from the DNS spoofing attacks. So it's a mix of hacking course and also a MikroTik course. You will see that I will have something like 80%. I don't touch the MikroTik. I only show you how the hacking happens. So I have to really do the hacking, and then I'm gonna show you how you can protect yourself using the MikroTik. So this course is on mynetworktraining.com already, but it's not on my Udemy yet, so it's gonna be live I think this evening or tomorrow morning by maximum. Now, the last thing that I want to say before we start the questions and answers, that if you are my student on mynetworktraining.com, so the price is gonna be changed by Monday of next week, and this price is gonna be for the monthly. If you will have monthly membership, is gonna be $15 per month, and if you have yearly membership, it's gonna be $150 per year. So that's for all new students. So anyone who want to start from next Monday to make the registration, this price will be applied. In case you want to make the membership, do it before Monday, because if you buy, for example, monthly, you take $10 per month. So the price will not change for you. You will always have $10 for all the recurring months as long as your account is active. And that's only on the monthly and yearly membership. The price for courses, like the single courses, is still going to stay $10. So if you just want to buy one course and not to have membership, of course on membership you will pay $10 per month, but you have access to all courses. But if you want to just buy a single course, then it's going to be staying $10 per month, and then you have lifetime access to the course. So those things I just wanted to start first to speak about them, and now let's have time to start taking your questions, and I will be answering your questions. So up to now we have 16 people following, so that's really nice. So let's start taking your questions, and I will be answering to your questions. So let's see. So we have someone asking about if there is any course about the MTC INE and MTC RE. So actually the course which is for routing, it's already there. So if we go back to here, and let me just make my picture a bit small like this. So the course for the routing is already there, and here you can find it on my website, but also on Udemy. This one, MikroTik Routing Engineer with Lab. So this really covers the full course of the MTC RE, let's say the outline of it, but of course in my way. So I don't follow the syllabus of MikroTik, I just do it my way, and I teach you everything from scratch on routing, but I do it on my way. But the outline that are on the MTC RE are all provided in this course, and much more than that. So now the second question about if there is anything about MTC INE. So yes, it's going to happen very soon. So I think, and that's something because I have been receiving a lot of requests from a lot of students, when you will do a course which cover INE, so the topics of INE. So I think now it's the time. So maybe, I'm not promising, but maybe the upcoming course is gonna be about this topic. Let's see, we have another question. Would you recommend the DOH over MikroTik? And my understanding, with a single DNS server address, or with a Pi-hole which has multiple rotated, yeah, I do recommend the DOH, and I will, if you take my course, you will understand why it's very important, because I'm going to show you that if you don't use DOH, you can be attacked. You can have DNS spoofing very easy, and MikroTik doesn't have a mechanism to stop all those type of attacks. So you can have ARP spoofing attack, man in the middle DNS spoofing attack, and MikroTik do not have this, because some routers, they have a mechanism to stop the ARP spoofing, for example, but MikroTik don't have that. So that's why I really recommend to use the DOH. Now, because that's a new feature of MikroTik, we have to wait and test it to see how good it is. Because it's a new feature starting 6.47, but I have tried it and I've seen, but now, for example, I'm using DOH and I'm talking to you, and I think that you are getting me, and the connection is working fine. So I think that using DOH is a good idea to think of using it. We have a question. Someone is saying, would I ask you why not certified MikroTik trainer? You make courses for all. I didn't get the question. So, do you mean why I'm not a MikroTik trainer? If this is your question, well, honestly speaking, I am a Cisco instructor, but to be honest with you, my Cisco instructor title, it's not gonna stay anymore because I'm not teaching, and in Cisco we need to teach a couple of courses per year to keep our CCSI active. So because I'm focusing more on doing online courses, I'm not having time to teach any more classroom. So I can of course later reactivate it if I want to teach Cisco again. Now the question is why I'm not MikroTik trainer. If this is your question, so there were a plan that I go to be to apply to the trainer from MikroTik to become a MikroTik trainer. But because of Corona, the MikroTik also cancelled the trainer. This is a training. If you don't know, training to be able to train the trainer to become MikroTik trainer. So that's why I was planning to and I have already applied for it actually, but it was cancelled. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to do it again because. I'm more involved now in online courses, and that means if I want to become a MikroTik trainer or an authorized trainer, I need to open training again. So in this case, I would maybe better to reactivate my Cisco instructor title and teach Cisco, because we get paid more on Cisco, I think, than on MikroTik. So yeah, I don't know yet. I don't know really if I'm going to make it or not. But I will be happy if I have a lot of students which tell me that we would like to travel to you to take if you become a MikroTik trainer, to take courses with you. Then that's something will give me a motivation to think of it. Now, MikroTik router is suitable to function as SNI server. I don't know. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't have an answer on that. Are you planning to make a BGP advanced course? Well, I do have one course, which is this one. Let's go to it. Let's see, this one, BGP on MikroTik with labs from entry to intermediate level. So this course is there, but the problem is that I didn't see a lot of requests for my students to take the BGP course. So I don't have a lot of people interested in BGP. So that's why I didn't do the next course, which is intermediate to advanced. And but in case I have more students interested on BGP in the advanced level, then I will do it definitely. But now, in case I want to do a course which takes the most topics of the INE, then in this case you will see some advanced BGP. But it's this course INE doesn't cover really in depth everything on BGP. While you know my way, I really like to go in depth in everything and explain everything what there is in this protocol and how it works and why we need to do that, and we do labs on that. So I think the INE is more general, but also there is a big part for MPLS and VPLS. So that's why I will check if the INE go okay, the course which is taking the topics of the INE, that I'm going to make it my way. Then if I have requests for students asking me for advanced BGP, then yes, most probably I'm gonna do it. Let's see. What do you prefer as Wi-Fi device, MikroTik vs Ubiquiti vs Ruckus vs your own preference? That's a good question. Well, actually, let's put it this way. MikroTik is a very, 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 very good product, to be honest with you. I think most of you knows already that I'm coming from a Cisco background, right? And and then when I just took the MikroTik and I look inside of it, I saw that yeah, you can do routing. In routing you can do static route, default route, BGP, MPLS or SPF, RIP. Then that's only routing. Then security, you can do the firewalling, and then you have the Mangle, you have the NAT, you have address list, and then I saw also we can do the quality of service, different type of quality of service that we have, different queuing types. And I have seen also we can do switching, we can do spanning tree, we can do many things. If I keep counting, then it will not finish. Then in this case, what I said that because of all those options, then the wireless should be also good. And I test the wireless on the MikroTik, and it's also amazing. The wireless is very good on the MikroTik. But then when I tried the Ubiquiti, then I was like, oh, yeah, the MikroTik on wireless is very good, but the wireless on the Ubiquiti is somehow excellent. So now the problem on Ubiquiti is that you don't have all the functionality that you want on the MikroTik. For example, I'll give you an example. On MikroTik you have the ports, right? Port Ethernet 1 to 5, for example. You can just change the ports, put them in a bridge, you can make them a routed port, you can do whatever you want. Right, but on Ubiquiti you don't have this option. That's just to give you that's a simple example, but just to give you an idea that on Ubiquiti it's more like this is what you have and this is what you can configure, and that's it. So it's more static. While on MikroTik it's more engineering stuff, like you can do engineering. But if we look to the frequency, for example, on the wireless, just to see the stability of the link and the wireless quality, then I would say Ubiquiti is very good, and MikroTik is also very good. I'm not saying not, but Ubiquiti maybe it's as the RF, it's maybe better than MikroTik. Now there are also a lot of good options that Ubiquiti have. Now Ruckus, I tried it also before, and also it's good, it's not bad. Now there is also a nice one which is LigoWave, and to tell you that I'm also a trainer for LigoWave, I'm an authorized trainer for LigoWave. And LigoWave, I also have a course for LigoWave. If we go down here, and I have this one is for free if you like, just to get an idea about it. But then I have this one, LigoWave official course, NFT. So LigoWave, they have products for the indoor, and that's NFT is for the indoor, but also they have product for outdoor. I don't have a course for it, but this course is official. If you like, you can just enroll in this course. And also the LigoWave is similar to Ubiquiti, but of course the company is much smaller, but they really do have very good quality on the signal as a signal on wireless. So that's also a very nice product that I tried it. I have many of them here, and I test them. And then after I became a trainer, they knew that I do online courses, so they told me if I can do an online courses, and they authorize it to be an official course. So that means if you take this course by just $10, you can also do the exam. I can open for you the exam, and you can do the exam from home, and you become a LigoWave NFT engineer. If you pass the exam, you have to get a grade of 65% or over. So back to your question, yes, MikroTik is very good, Ubiquiti is very good, and LigoWave is very good. And I have maybe give a little bit more for Ubiquiti as product for the signal quality than MikroTik. But MikroTik, you have much more things you can do than Ubiquiti. Let's see if we have some other questions. I'm just reading questions. If I'm silent, I'm just reading the questions, okay? I'm just picking up the questions that I can give you some good answer on it. So let's have a look. So we have here this question: why MikroTik hotspot active users are shown in simple queue list? I can't recall it now on top of my mind that they will be shown on the simple queue list, but in case they are shown, then that means most probably because you are applying quality of service against those users. So that means you are putting for them some bandwidth, limiting them to be able to use some bandwidth on upload and on download. So that's why it will be looking on the simple queues. Okay, some other questions. Let's see. Okay, load balancing in MikroTik. Are you planning to make a full course about this subject? Yeah, I have been receiving a lot of requests for that actually, also load balancing. And the answer is I don't know yet if I'm gonna do the load balancing, because the problem with load balancing is that even though that you make the configuration on the load balancing correctly, you may still have problems. And I'm sure that if I do a course and then problems will appear, because depending on each scenario you may have problems. And if the problem appears, then I know that most of my students will write me, say I have tried this at my office and I'm having this problem, and how can I solve it? So that means I'm in this case putting myself in a point where I have to solve problems for students, even though that's I should answer them, because they're asking me about the problems they have on the lecture, because I have given this information for them. But then I'm also at the same time solving their problems for their business. So that's why I'm just trying to think of it if I'm going to do a course for load balancing or not. But I would say that load balancing on MikroTik works fine, but also it will always have problems. Like you never know when the problem, how the problem appears. So that's why I don't yet have now a decision if I'm going to do it, and if I'm going to do it, when am I going to do it. All right. Okay, so here we have someone saying, to my current understanding, Ubiquiti Wi-Fi screams a lot harder, and MikroTik and also Roku's are much more honest with their antenna. Yeah, well, it's it depends on each of the case, right? You can say that the power, actually the power is also something you can change it. So if you have for example on MikroTik, then you can also change the power. You can make it harder, you can make it lower. So it's you have the capability to do that. So this is not really what I was saying, that Ubiquiti is, the link is better. I'm saying only here about the quality of the link, means that how much bandwidth and how much throughput you can get if you are doing, for example, point-to-point or point-to-multi-point, or even inside in the indoor, for example, the cell, but also the Ubiquiti. Then also it's possible because on MikroTik they use HWMP, so that means if you want to put many access points, then they should be all on the same frequency, while on the Ubiquiti you don't have that. You can put them on the different frequencies, so that means they will not they will not be jamming to each other, the channels. All right, so you can put them 1, 6 and 11, then they don't make one channel interfere to the second channel. So that's one of the options that Ubiquiti they have, which not on MikroTik, because on MikroTik they use another technology where you have to put all the access point on the same channel. That means you have to make a really nice design where you have edge to edge channels, and this says they need to be edge to edge, touching each other to not interfere each other, and that's much harder work for the engineers. Let's see, what do we have other questions? Which brand is better, Aruba or Ubiquiti? Yeah. All right, I can't really say this is better, this is better, not better. I'm saying that all the products are good, and depending on everyone what he want to use. But I can just say that Ubiquiti is very, very good, and MikroTik is also good, but I just give a priority for Ubiquiti. Now Aruba, I tried it also before. It's good, it's a good product as well. But here it depends on every engineer. Also, sometimes it's not about the quality of the link. Sometimes it's like the engineer feel like I can I feel like to configure MikroTik I'm more happy, and I feel that the user graphic is friendly for me. Maybe Winbox he likes it more. So all those takes into factors, not only like for the link of the quality of the link, that it's good or not. Some engineers, they say, well, because I like to use MikroTik, I have Winbox and I'm very familiar with that, I will go for MikroTik. So that's really, I can't give an exact answer for that. Let's see. Have you explained in any course MikroTik backflow diagram? Yes, I did, and that's I think I'm one of the few, maybe if not the only one, who explained clearly about the packet flow. So if you want, I can just show you which course it is. Let me just go here to the website, and the course is this one. Let's have a look. Yes, this one, MikroTik Traffic Control with Labs, and I have explained it with a lot of labs on it also. So let's go for it to show you where I have explained about the traffic control. Here, go this one, how packets flow in MikroTik. So you can see it's a section, a complete section. We have almost half an hour just speaking about packet flow. So this is the introduction, how to read packet flow sheet, and then MikroTik packet flow with examples. So you can see that I have a full section, and this is part of the course, which is the traffic control, where also in addition of the packet flow, I speak about here a big section about the firewall. So you see all those labs are firewall, the web proxy, the quality of service. That's a very interesting course, by the way, and I like it very much. Actually, if someone asks me which of the courses you like most on MikroTik, I would definitely say to you traffic control, because you are controlling the traffic, and that's really the fun, like to control the traffic when you start working with the firewall, the quality of service. All those things are really fun to work on MikroTik. So yeah, this is the course, and I'll be happy if I see you buying this course before the end of this webinar. Let's see. Please, you talk less about MikroTik captive portal, especially how to edit it. Can we expect a course on it? No, not really. I have a course speaking about that. I have a course speaking about the captive portal, how to edit it. And this is one of the, I think, 2 years old course or something. This one, MikroTik hotspot with user manager. So if you go to this course, let me just move myself down, and on this course also I speak about the hotspot and in details, but also I speak, I'm not sure where I show it, somewhere here, I show somewhere in this section, tweaking the MikroTik hotspot settings. So over here I show how you can, here, changing the look of the captive portal. So it's 20 minutes, and over there I explain in details how you can change that. So that's also, the course is already there, MikroTik hotspot with user manager. And also I'll be happy if you buy this course before the end of this webinar. Okay, any other question? Let's see here. What is the parameters to know if an access point should not have more stations connected? Having NV2 when the ping is starting to be increased. Sometimes literature say, as an example, avoid more than 30. Well, if you NV2 is a very good technology to use, especially if you want to use PONT to PONT. So I advise to use it, but also Nstream as well. If you want the quality of the link to be good, then go for Nstream, because also I explained that in my course, which is this one, the MikroTik, this one, Wireless Engineer with Labs. I explained actually in details about NV2 and Nstream and 802.11. So what is the difference and what you can have as benefit from one to the other. All right. So if you are looking for the quality of the link to be good, then Nstream is a good option. It works on the polling. Okay, and all those are described in my course. Alright, the nice question. Is it true that MikroTik switch is weak against other brand in terms of layer 3? Well, not really, I would say. Now, of course, if you want to think of the MikroTik switch as core switch for big companies, maybe the capability of the switch is not let's say like if you compare it to Cisco or maybe also Ubiquiti. They have really nice core switches, but not really. I mean, I do have a lot of switches for MikroTik, and I have already worked a lot on them, and they're really nice. And you know, they have the CRS models. They work perfectly, and they have multi-core CPUs, and yeah, they work perfectly. So I don't really think that they are bad, the MikroTik switches. I actually recommend that you use MikroTik switches, because again, you can also, if you don't have a switch OS, you can use Winbox, and that's also you are familiar with Winbox. Then yeah, why not? You can use Winbox and go to configure the switch. So now layer 3. Yeah, I think that that they are doing well. I can't say, I can't think of my mind like now that MikroTik switches is not good. Well, I think they are doing okay. Now the other question is, I spent several hours following your Capsman course by adding 5 access points. Problem was when it came to configuring the VLAN filtering, I locked myself out on the router. Yeah. So normally VLAN filtering is the last option you need to do it when you configure anything which is on VLAN. So VLAN filtering, because when you enable it, you are enabling the VLAN process on the MikroTik. So if you don't have access anymore to the router, then in this case you have to know on which VLAN from the VLANs that you have created you can, yeah, because your router and your PC should be on the same VLAN to be able to see each other. Alright, so you put VLAN filtering, so that means the VLAN are active, and if your PC is not on the same VLAN as on the router, then they cannot see each other. Now, what I can advise you is to go to my course, which is the VLAN. This one, VLAN on MikroTik with Labs. So you can master, so if you don't see it, let me just move myself down. So you can master more about the VLAN. So this course, it will speak only about VLAN, and you understand more about the VLAN filtering and all of the details inside of that. So that means if you want to if you don't have access to the MikroTik router and you need to reset it, then you can do that, and then you can do your and deploy your VLAN correctly when you want to deploy the Capsman to your network. Let's see, do we have any other questions? We have a question here. Do you recommend to use MikroTik hotspot for LAN and WLAN, or just for WLAN? Well, you can use it on both actually. MikroTik hotspot, or let's say the hotspot by itself as an idea, is not really for the wireless. So it's mostly used on wireless, but also you can use it on the LAN. So what you can do, for example, you can put the LAN and WAN interface, you can put them on a bridge, and once they are on a bridge, you run the hotspot on the bridge. Then also the LAN user, if they want to connect to the internet, they need to put the username and password that you provide them for the hotspot. So it depends on your scenario and what you want to do in your network. But if you want it also to be on LAN, that's also possible. Okay, let's see. MikroTik router have already password and as well port assigned. Still, why device hacked? Account admin had unsafe password shown. Sorry, I didn't get your question. If you can just reframe your question so I can understand what you mean exactly. So I don't know. Is your router hacked? If it's hacked, or are you getting this error on your MikroTik, on your log? I'm not sure what you really mean here. But in all cases, I always recommend for all the MikroTik that you, or for everyone using MikroTik, to do hardening for your MikroTik router. And also I have a course speaking about the hardening, which is this one, MikroTik Router OS Hardening Labs. So in this course, if you go for it, this one, then in this case you learn how to harden your MikroTik router. Hardening means that you block everything or you stop everything which you don't need on the MikroTik router, which an attacker can use to be able to hack your router. So I also advise you, if you have any of those problems, to go to this course, and then you will have the full understanding on that. All right, so is there any more questions? I'm still here, and yeah, we have still some time. If you have any more questions, please let me know so I can answer also your questions. Yeah. So just now myself, I have to ask you a question. Did anyone take this MikroTik DOH against DNS spoofing attack? Did anyone try to watch it and do it? It's really a fun course because the thing is that you play with Kali Linux, and Kali Linux is a machine that hackers use it normally to deploy their attack. So if you go to this course, it's really nice. You see, so over here we just do one lab here, number 2, this is for router, and then you see this is this section 3 and 4, those are for Kali Linux, and this is Kali Linux, the second section, that is all on Kali Linux, so we are doing the attacks. There is also Kali Linux, and at the end this is for the MikroTik. So you can see almost 80% of the course is based on hacking, and just really nice to can know and start knowing how to do hacking to the MikroTik router or to the PC, the target PC, how you can hack it, and to become a man in the middle. So I'll show you that in the course step by step. So did anyone start it? So I have here DOH was a very nice course. I suggest you do other courses like this, how to solve advanced challenges using MikroTik devices. Yeah, maybe I will do something like this, but actually this course, which is for the security, you will see it over here, this one, MikroTik Security Engineer with Labs. It also, I show you how to do the hacking on the MikroTik and how to solve it, and it's plenty of that, plenty of labs inside this course, and we use the firewall of the MikroTik to solve those problems. So similar things like you see the brute force attack, DHCP starvation attack, DHCP here, the ICMP flood attack, the DOS attacks, distributed DOS here attack, and then also the TCP SYN attack, the There is actually DOS, denial of service attack, and then UDP attack. So I'm showing you all on this course how this attack happened and how you can solve it using the MikroTik. Also here the port scanning, how to stop it. So this course is also a complete course to show you all the details of the attacks and how to solve the attacks. So I'm going to also show you how the attacks happen also using Kali Linux, but in this course I don't show you how you install Kali Linux to make it work. I just show you the attack. I just write the command on Kali Linux, the attack happens, and then to how to solve this attack. Alright, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit having a bit of flu, so it's just flu, huh? Nothing dangerous. Alright, there is a question, can you talk about Git control function? Yes, I have already spoken about Git control, and it is in one course as well. So the course is also, if we go down, this one, MikroTik Network Management with Labs. In this course I have a complete lab for Git control, and over here you can see, if we go down, this one, MikroTik Git control, and this is the introduction, and this is the course is 28 minutes configuring Git control on MikroTik. So if you want, you can just go to this course also, and you have the full knowledge and idea of how to configure the Git control. But this course contains much more than only the Git control. Yeah. Any other question, guys? Alright, so if there is no more question, then I think, even though that I thought that we can have like at least 10-15 minutes more, but yeah, this is just a session for anyone who has questions, but if the questions are finished, so I think we can finish also the webinar. And yeah, at the end, what I want to say, that I'm very happy that to see that this community is growing. So I remember I started doing online courses something like 3.5 years back, and I didn't have any student online. Of course, I had a lot of students on Classroom, but online I didn't have any student. So I started building it slowly. So I'm very happy that you are following my course, and I do appreciate all of you. And I also truly hope that my courses are helping you in your career, and also if you are just doing it for study, also that it's helping you, that you discover all the functions that are available on MikroTik, on Ubiquiti, on LegoWave, and Huawei, and maybe in the future some other brands. So yeah, we have a question here. What is the maximum number of clients per app and throughput that MikroTik access point can efficiently handle? Well, it depends on each of the product, each of the model of MikroTik, and but normally I would say more than 150 to 100 users on wireless. It's not the official, I would say, but I personally try that in case I think that there is a lot of number of users who are going to be using the wireless in one place, then I try to put more than one access point. So this will be having the load between all the access points, and that's something I try to do in case I have a project like this. But yeah, there is no definite answer for that. And if anyone knows how much maximum users, please, you can write it here. So when I enable hotspot on MikroTik, all iPhone users are facing problem connecting to Wi-Fi, but Android user don't have any problem. What is the cause? So what is exactly the problem? That they are not connecting, or what? Can you just explain more? Alright, monthly and membership and yearly membership purchase issue, can you explain please? So you mean that you have an issue with the purchase? So if you, or you just want to know that to explain to you how you can purchase. If the question is how to purchase the monthly or yearly, it's just straightforward. You go to my website, mynetworktraining.com. You go to down to here, or what you can do also, you can click on get all access, then it will go take you down to the page over here, and then from here what you can do, you can select or the monthly or the yearly. Of course, if you go for the yearly, then you can save, you pay for 10 months instead of 12 months because it's $100 per year. And all you need to do is just to, if you say monthly, for example, just as checked, you say enroll in course, and you go here. In case you have a username and password on my website, you can just put it here. In case not, you just make registration, and then you put your credit card, and then you enroll, and that's it. Once you enroll, you have access to all my courses, not only to one course. So everything that I have up to now, that I have recorded as courses, so all those courses that you see over here, also the free one, so everything you will get access to them, and that's for 1 month. Of course, after 1 month, then when it's finished, then there is because that's recurring, then there is another 10 USD will be retrieved from your card. Now, in case you cancel, then this will stop, but also you will not have access to my courses anymore. Okay, I have 2 incoming WAN internet connections. How can I bond them using MikroTik, or is this not possible? Yeah, it is possible, but also it depends how you want to do it. So do you want, for example, because for example I deployed something very nice, because I know that load balancing sometimes it makes problem. So what I have done for an internet cafe, so they want to have for I think they have like 30, 35, 40 PCs. On those 30, let's say 40 PCs, they want at the same time for people to play games, but also at the same time to go online. Let's say to visit Facebook, or to write, to open the emails or whatsoever. Okay, so what I've done for them, because they have 2 WAN, 2 internet connection. So I just put on each of the port of the MikroTik router the internet connection, and then the internet is working on the MikroTik router. We made the NAT, so that's something we know about. Now, what I've done, I've taken all ports of the games. So I asked them, what are the games that you are going to use? So they told me what are the games. We searched for the ports, and once I have the ports of all the games, I made what is the Mango rules, and pre-routing Mango rules, and then I make a routing mark, so mark routing, and then I said for all the ports of the games to go from one internet connection, and for everything else, which is the browsing, the email, the download, the chat, whatever, go from here. All right, so also that's very important that I put everything to go from one connection and the rest to go from one connection, because if someone is doing download, believe it or not, the games is not affected, because the games is very important, the lagging we call it in the games, to not have very high ping, and the latency to not be very high, because they can't play games. So in case someone is doing download and also other people are playing games, then in this case they're not affected, because they will go from one internet service and then the download is going from another internet server, even though they are working from the same PC. So that's something I have done it, and it's working perfectly since more than 2-3 years maybe. So yeah, this is your question. And now if you want to do bonding, means that you want to put the 2 together, like to be looking like one link. So that's possible using the load balancing, but again, this also I can say doesn't work 100%. You always have problems. Please give a topic about multicast. Okay, fair enough. I will take note to see if we can do a course about multicast. Alright guys, any other question please? What would you suggest then? Another router like Huawei for internet connection coming in and then to marketing? Yeah, it depends on how big is your network, but any 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 router could do the work. Okay. Is it possible to create a transparent layer 2 network L2TP with IPsec with MikroTik with proxy ARP? I want to see my neighboring PC like in the LAN from the VPN connected client. You can use EOIP actually. Why not to use EOIP? You can create layer 2 connectivity using EOIP. And also I do have a course speaking about all the VPN tunneling. So let me just show you that. If you take this course, where is it? This one, VPN tunneling protocol on MikroTik with labs. So please, if you take this course, then I advise you to go for it. And over here I speak about all the VPN that are possible on MikroTik. And this one, EOIP, you can create really layer 2 connectivity. So for example, if you have two companies and the two companies, they have two routers, and those companies, the one purchased the other, and then in this case you want the LAN that are from one company to be the same as the LAN of second company, and you have, for example, on both companies you have same range of IP for the LAN, then what you can do, you can create an EOIP tunnel, and then there will be layer 2. Layer 2, believe me, over the internet. So it's like he is connected next to you. So I advise you to take this course. And this course is also based on labs, and it's a really nice course. And it has on the Udemy, it has bestseller badge. So you can just take this course and it helps to get you all the ideas. All right, so so far so good. So I think that let's see. Well, maybe we have still 5 minutes because I decided to make it for 1 hour. So if anyone still have any question, please just let me know so I can answer it. Otherwise, let's finish this webinar. If you have two IP addresses configured on the bridge WAN containing, let's see, where is it? Okay, so it was deleted. Alright. Alright guys, I'm very happy to be doing this live webinar, and I hope that we can do more than that, but I still believe that we need more people to be coming online to be able to have more interaction. But anyway, it was a lot of fun today to work together on this, and again I trust that you will be taking my courses, and you will be letting more people know about my courses, because I'm not really good in doing marketing, I would say, and I don't have time for that. My time is more to be able to building labs, doing courses, and I leave the rest for this to happen. So in case you can let more people know about my courses which are on Udemy and also on my website, then I'll be very thankful for your help. And if you have any questions that you may require, please let me know. And if you have some business that you want a project, for example, that I do consultancy for that. So I myself, I'm more focusing on doing the courses. But I do have a partner, which also he is a Microtech trainer, and they informed me that they are very interested to be able to assist with a very good pricing as well. So if you have any such big project, and if it's not a very big project, I can take it myself, no problem. But it's very big and very complicated and needs many days or weeks to be finished, then I think I can just transfer it to them. And also this he's my friend, and he's a good Microtech trainer, and also he was taking my courses, and so the knowledge that I know, I shared it to him, and he is also good. So please, you can just write me an email about that, and I can put you in contact together, and I'm sure that he can assist you. All right. So yeah, you can for the question how to contact me, you can go to this is I can show you where my email is. Let's see if I have it somewhere. Yeah, this is my email on Contact Us. Just drop me an email, info@mynetworktraining.com. This is the best email that I check it on daily basis. Just drop me an email there, and I can get back to you. All right. All right. Very good. So yeah, thank you very much, guys, for your time, for the time you spent now with me, and this time you are spending also on my courses. And maybe most of you knows me more than I know you, because you see me always, but I don't see you, unfortunately. But I hope that one day, if I'm traveling to any of the country, I say I'm going to be in this country, and if there are yeah, someone next very close to me, maybe we can also meet. So thank you very much, guys, for your time, and see you next time. Bye bye.